It's going to be a real quick one. It's just an updated new version of a popular flashlight by ThruNite. This one is the BSS V5. Let's take a look at it. In this episode, we're going to look at the new BSS V5 flashlight from ThruNite. This is, of course, a rechargeable flashlight. And there it is, BSS V5. I reviewed the V4 a while back. I'll go get the V4 so we can compare the two of them. Both lights are the same size, the V4 being on the left, the V5 being on the right. They both will have similar characteristics. The big difference between the V4 version 4 is the charge port. On the BSS V4 it's a micro USB, and on the V5 it's a USB-C. And that's basically the big difference between these two lights. The output power on them is going to be similar, and they're the same type of design. Both have this tactical head shell that can be used as a weapon. If you're using it for self-defense, that's going to hurt. If you hit someone with that, that is going to hurt. They both feature the same design, etched into the aluminum. This is laser etched. And I believe they both even have the same LED. They both use an 18650, and they both have a replaceable red filter that you can put on the front to give the light a red cast. And of course, this is important if you're using it at night to maintain your night vision. So to use that, you would just unscrew the header here, which doesn't have to be on. It can be used without it. There's nothing on here other than this projectile, which again would be used for self-defense or for breaking a window or something. If you had it in a car and you needed to break a window to get out, you could strike a window with this and it would break the glass. There's the red filter that goes on the lamp, which gives it a red cast. Again, the idea behind the red cast is that it won't affect your night vision if you're using it outside in the dark, like a white light would. So that's the red filter. It comes in the box here. There'll be a red filter in the box right down there. It's a dichroic filter. Anyway, how these operate, I'll show you this one, the new one. Very simple to operate. Power on, power off. Press and hold the power button, it'll cycle through low, medium, and high. It remembers what setting you're on, so if you're using the light in medium and you turn it off, you turn it back on, it's in medium. Tail cap has a button which enters it into turbo mode, which is brighter than the high setting. If I turn it on, select high, and if I press the tail cap, you'll see that it does get brighter. There's high, and there's turbo. Specifications: it's an anti-reflective, ultra-clear, toughened glass lens. Uses an SST70 LED. Or smooth reflector, working voltage 2.7 to 4.2 volts. The output is 2676 lumens in turbo, which then drops down to 610 lumens after 2 minutes and will run for another 133 minutes. In high mode, it's 1413 lumens, and then it drops down to 606 lumens after 145 seconds. It will then run for another 140 minutes. Medium is 355 lumens, and it will run for 4.5 hours. Low, 29 lumens, 53 hours, and Firefly, 0.3 lumens for 50 days. In strobe, it's 1200 lumens, and it'll run for 220 minutes on a full charge. Has a maximum throw of 255 meters. Intensity is 16,200 CD, and has an impact resistance of 1.5 meters, and an IPX rating of IPX8 rating of 2 meters. Has the standard indicator on the power switch as to the state of charge of the battery. Flashing red 1 to 10%, red 11 to 20%, and 21 to 100% is blue. And of course they tell you to screw down the tail cap because they don't tighten it down for shipping, and they also ship it with a battery that is only partially charged. So I've actually charged the battery up between the time I open this and the time I'm doing this part. I've actually put the battery in the charger and charge it up. Okay, so the lamp is off. You press and hold the side switch to enter Firefly mode. Press and hold, it's in Firefly mode. And if you press and hold it again while it's in firefly mode, it'll turn it into lockout mode. So now any presses of buttons will not do anything, as you can see. I have to press and hold again to get out of lockout mode, and then it enters firefly mode again. Probably the standard is click the switch, double click goes to turbo mode, and triple click is probably flashing. So let's do that. 3 clicks. There we go. 3 clicks is strobe. Single click, the last mode used. Double click is turbo, and triple click is strobe. Of course, you can go directly to turbo by pressing the tail cap, which is always convenient because sometimes in the dark you're fumbling around looking for a button. It's easy just to hit the button on the back and you're in full power mode. That's one of the things I like about these lights, is it makes it easy. If you're carrying it around with you, you just grab it, click it on, you're in turbo mode. We're going to take this out back and try it out, show you guys what it looks like in the dark. I'm going to keep the video short because there's not a lot to say about this. If you watch the BSS 4 video, you're going to see something very, very similar to this one, because essentially the lights are identical with the exception of the charge port. This one's got the USB-C, which of course is what everybody wants now, because all your devices are going to USB-C, and micro USB is becoming a thing of the past. Anyway, let's take a look at the performance outside. Before I do, show the accessory pack. Comes with a hand strap and a bunch of O-rings to replace any O-rings that get damaged, and a battery cap and a button cap, button O-ring and everything. There's O-rings to keep water out on the base here, and it's got a hand strap. Put the hand strap on. It's always nice to have a hand strap on a flashlight. Hand strap just goes in, just like that. There you go. So let's take this outside and see how it performs in the dark. Something that I will point out is that having the lens shade on here does affect the throw of the light. So taking it off, you have a much wider flood. I will be testing it with and without. Okay, we're now out in the dark. I'll show you first the V4, BSS V4 on turbo. Provides that type of light. I'm a little different place in the park tonight than I usually am, just because of all the Christmas lights set up down there. So I'm different location, but we're still shooting way out into the depth of the park here, as you can see. And this is the V4, and I'll switch just to the V5 here, just so you can get an idea of the difference in the beam. Now we're looking at the V5. Again, the V4. I don't have the shield cover on the V4. This is the V5. I'll take the little cover off here so you can see that the beam will spread out when I take off that glass breaker type cover. So you can see quite a ways into the distance. And this is in turbo mode. Go back to the V4 here in turbo mode. There's the V4, the older model, in turbo mode. And the V5. V4, V5. Back to the V4. V4 tends to have a little more concentrated beam, I think. They're pretty close, but if we look down here on the grass, this is the V5, and there's the V4. If we look at the trees, okay, there's the V5 again. V4. V5. So this is the new V5 again. As you can see how the beam looks. And then we'll go back to the older V4. And back to the V5. Look into a different area of the park. The V4 has quite a wide flood, as you can see. And switching to the V5. Both of them, I can clearly see the trees in the background. Back to the V4 for one last shot, just to compare the two of them. And V5. You can see we've still got a bit of snow up here from last week. These trees here are about 100 meters in the distance from where I am now. You can see it's cold. Just about freezing right now. This is the last shot from the V4. I'm going to put the link in the description. Both of them are comparable in terms of brightness and throw. They both look to be pretty darn close, which I would expect because this is the newer of them. But I think the big change between the version 4 and version 5, which I'm using now, is the USB-C charging. Other than that, the two of them have fairly comparable specifications. I'll put them both on at the same time. So the light on the left is the V4, the light on the right is the V5. As you can see, they look pretty much the same. Same type of throw, same type of pattern, very, very similar lumens. Anyway, link is in the description. It's gone on probably too long. After all, it is just a flashlight demo. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.